you could hit a woman with straight logics, straight facts. Bro, you you are putting her argument to shame, right? And then she'll just disregard all that and latch on to, oh, so you just don't care about how I feel. I think the only point of women expressing how you hurt them, the only point of them doing that is for you to feel what you made them feel. I truly feel like there's this vindictive get you back side to it. If you have just came from a place of inquiry, like why did you do this? Did you know that this makes me this when you do this it makes me feel this way? I'd be like, ah damn, I fucked up. I'm sorry, baby. I shouldn't have done that. And we can move on.
Finally, I get to showcase a clip from Australia. Check out this woman absolutely losing it at her boyfriend in public.
Oh my god. Where are you? Oh, what? What are you doing here?
What are you doing here? What is that?
This.
Who's vegan?
I don't care, Dave. I'm done with it. I'm done with all this vegan crap. I'm done with
This
it.
is an animal.
Yeah. It's an animal. I don't
Oh my
care.
god, why would you do that to an animal?
It is. Because that's an animal. I can't believe you're eating this.
Are you serious, though?
This isn't even vegan.
I don't care anymore. I'm done with it. I'm done with you controlling my life. I'm done with being vegan.
This was a joint decision.
At the time, I was just trying to impress
Why would
you.
you eat
I'm done
another
with it.
animal?
I've been doing this behind your back for weeks now. I go to Macca's with my friends and I eat meat.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you. I'm serious.
We
What
can finish
are you
this.
even doing here?
Part of me
Let's
feels
make
like she's
predictions
jealous.
for how her mind is going to make sense of what just happened in the aftermath. When she walks away, is she going to feel guilty and sort of beat herself up like, oh, I never should have pressured him into agreeing something that he didn't actually want. I really shouldn't be controlling him and his life and what he eats. I definitely shouldn't have thrown his food on the ground, humiliating him in front of his friends. I think I was in the wrong. I'll go and apologize to him. Is that what she's going to think? Or is she going to think, he lied to me. He ate meat. He is the worst man in the world.
She's
I am the
jealous.
wronged party. I am the victim. Like, I'm not defending this guy. Like, dude, if you don't want to be vegan, grow a pair and tell her. Like, why is he sneaking around? He has a lot of blame in this, but based on her energy and how she's coming across, I don't think she's going to recognize the role that she's played. Have you noticed a pattern in your own personal life when dealing with women? And it goes like this. Man puts up a boundary and woman crosses boundary. Man politely asks for boundary to be respected. Woman refuses. Man asks again. Woman refuses again. Man starts to get frustrated and worked up, and then the woman claims victimhood. Suddenly, out of nowhere, that man started acting so mean. It's almost like she kept acting more and more obnoxious until finally he lost his cool and had a big reaction. As if somehow that she was maybe doing it on purpose so that she could position
Then she
herself
has an
to be the
excuse.
victim. Bingo. Why would she do that? Okay, in order to understand this about women, you need to understand that they feel empowered to act when they are a victim. To men, that makes no sense whatsoever. Why would victimhood be empowering? For us men, to be the victim is shameful. It's embarrassing. It's like we want to hide and isolate ourselves. We don't want anyone to see us in that state. We like to think of ourselves as powerful and in control. To be a victim as a man is a terrible thing, but it's not the same for women. It doesn't carry that same stigma. They're not afraid of it. In fact, they often seek it out. And in recent decades, they've been enabled by a culture in the West that constantly reinforces to women that they're victims.
As a man, you let so much stuff slide, but women just they'll give one or two repetitions, patterns that they see in you, and then they'll just explode, and it's wild. But not only do they feel empowered in their own victimhood, but they also want to bring you down too. Have you ever noticed that, fellas? Women want to tear you down too. I think the only point of women expressing how you hurt them, the only point of them doing that is for you to feel what you made them feel. I truly feel like there's this vindictive get you back side to it, right? This really childish side to women, to women nagging, to women blaming you. I feel like they just want to tear you down and make you feel like how you made them feel. I'm serious. I'm starting to believe that they don't want anything resolved. They just want you to hurt as well. Fellas, you have to stay strong because they're crazy. By that logic, women are crazy.
Just talking in terms of an individual perspective, in terms of the psychology of an individual woman. When she is the wronged party, when she feels like she's the victim, that's when she feels empowered. Suddenly, a huge amount of energy gets released and she's almost righteous in her anger. And this is why women will manipulate situations and keep on maneuvering until they can find themselves in that position of victimhood so that they can then take action. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about all women. These are huge generalizations. High quality women don't do this. They're above that sort of thing. But for a lot of women, if she's ever in
There's
a
high quality
disagreement,
women out
she's
there?
not likely to start engaging properly until first she's positioned herself as the victim. She's not comfortable fighting the battle unless it's within that paradigm where she is the wronged party. You've probably noticed this when dealing with women in your own life, how uncomfortable they are with an image of themselves as a perpetrator. They can't stomach it. A lot of them can't even imagine it. It's just beyond the possibility. No, that could never be me. I'm always the victim, which leads to some truly bizarre circumstances when she actually has been acting incorrectly. But she won't talk about that. Any conversation with her on that topic about what she's doing that's wrong is going to be very, very frustrating because she's going to slip this way. She's going to deflect. She's going to maneuver. Lots of women will act very passive and non-cooperative, subtly, frustrating the situation until it aggravates the man.
You could hit a woman with straight logics, straight facts. You are putting her argument to shame, right? And then she'll just disregard all that and latch on to, oh, so you just don't care about how I feel. You were wrong in this. Like, I don't see how you don't see it. Like, am I like, why would you, like, why are you treating me like this? Why are you yelling at me? Why are you shouting? Why are you just flies right over their head. Men, avoid those women because there's just no getting through to them. You would think, I know from experience, you would think after years of dealing with somebody, you would think that they could step back and you can do what you do and everything will work out like it normally does. You would think that they would have that trust in you after proving it time and time again, but no, they have to insinuate their own narrative. And that ruins everything. How are you gonna beat her own imagination? Women will not allow fact to override their own imagination.
Frustrating the situation until it aggravates the man. What she's doing there is she's hoping it's going to provoke some kind of response from him that might be out of proportion so that then she can focus on that. Once she can comfortably frame herself as the victim, now she can engage with you. Let's look at some examples. Let's say you catch her flirting with another man and you get really upset. Like, how dare you disrespect me in our relationship? Do you think that the conversation in the aftermath is going to be about the fact that she's flirting with another man? Or do you think it's going to be about the fact that you're controlling, you're possessive, you're manipulative and jealous, and you made a big deal and were really angry at her, made her feel uncomfortable? I promise you, there are guys in the audience nodding their heads like, yes, I caught my partner flirting with other men or cheating on me, and somehow she made herself the victim. Or let's say she borrows something valuable of yours and she damages or loses it, and so you get really, really frustrated with her. Now, is she in the wrong for not taking better care of your property, or are you in the wrong for being so judgmental and not understanding that sometimes people make mistakes? Or let's say she changes outfit 3 times and causes the two of you to be late for something important. Are you the victim of her being disorganized, or is she the victim because you expressed that she needs to hurry and you're being controlling and insensitive to her process?
I had to tell this one girl once, like, you don't understand how difficult it is to date you. It's hard for me to form a thought because you've already made up your mind. What's the point of carrying out this conversation? I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. I'm stuck between trying to get you to understand and also knowing that I'm talking to a wall. What am I supposed to do? And I don't think women really listen to you. You can explain to a woman how they're out of character, how misbehaved they are, and they just have this look like, what the fuck are you even talking about? It is not your turn. This is about me. This whole thing is about me. What does that have to do with you? Essentially, just going nowhere. Women don't understand that men like constructive conversations. We want to get from point A to point B. Women will just drown somewhere in the middle and call it a day until they're tired out or whatever.
It's actually a terrifying thing to watch, to see how women are able to ignore and push aside the terrible thing that they actually did, and instead to focus the fight of the argument purely on the way that you reacted to it. It's that classic, it's not what you said, it's how you said it, or when you decided to tell me. Anything, any flimsy justification can be used to position herself as the victim. A lot of men just simply can't keep up in conversations like this. They can't logically track what's going on because they thought they were going to have a discussion about the merits, the rights and wrongs of what she did, but suddenly you seem to be talking about something completely different. You came into the conversation really upset, really angry, but suddenly she's really angry at you. I'm telling you, when a woman is found out for doing something wrong, and a lot of the time, especially with low quality women, the first part of that conversation, she's going to avoid the actual meat of what's going on, and she's going to be framing the conversation, manipulating it, maneuvering it to try and paint herself as the victim, and only then, when she feels comfortable that she's established that paradigm, does she actually engage.
The women will yell, express their anger before they express their sadness. Look, ladies, if there's an issue, just be like, this is how you made me feel, or be like, why did you do X, Y, and Z? When you start yelling and starting accusations, like, what's up with you texting that one bitch, or like, why haven't you done the thing I told you to do? Like, or why is it that I'm just finding out that you and so have made out once before? Like, men are not going to want to listen to you. The same way he's saying that women are going to wait till you're angry so they can feel like a victim. I'm not going to listen to you if you come at me crazy. Right? Your feelings are valid. Ladies, your feelings are valid. I hear you. I feel that. Your feelings are valid, but if you come at me crazy, then I'm going to feel disrespected, and then we're not going to have a constructive conversation, and then it's just all hell's going to break loose, right? You're going to end the conversation angry. I'm going to end up angry. When really, if you have just came from a place of inquiry, like, why did you do this? Did you know that when you do this, it makes me feel this way? I'd be like, damn, I fucked up. I'm sorry, baby. I shouldn't have done that. And we can move on.
Men, I want you to answer me this question and be completely honest. How many times in your life has a woman looked you in the eye and said, I was in the wrong, I'm sorry? Is that a common phrase? Have you heard that a lot? Or does it feel like no matter what the actual circumstances, because you're a man, you're always casting the role of the perpetrator, and because she's a woman, she's always the victim? But the reason why I'm talking about this in a gendered way is not because there aren't individual men who act in this way too. It's because of the social and cultural pressures that currently exist, which are collectively pushing women towards this victimhood, encouraging it. That same momentum doesn't exist towards men. We don't have a culture that's celebrating and encouraging men to express their victimhood. But we do for women, and that sucks. That has to change. Us men, we lose all the time. We play sports where we lose half the time. We make failed investments. We exist in a dating market where we fail and get rejected constantly. Like, we're always being humbled. And we often act like morons and genuinely have to apologize. Like, us men, we're wrong a lot. And I think that's a good thing. We don't want to be taking ourselves too seriously. We don't want to be so fragile that we can never admit our mistakes. What a misery. But I think that this is an area where women can learn from men. It's okay to lose. It's okay to fail. It's okay to admit that you're wrong. I worry that we're raising a generation of young women who are subjected to such intense brainwashing about how they're just born victims because of their gender that they're never going to be able to admit that they're wrong. Not to a man. It's just going to clash against all that cultural propaganda. And no matter how badly they're treating the men in their lives, they're never going to be able to see themselves in any other frame other than them being the victim.
Men can see people like, I don't know, Robert Downey Jr. or Samuel L. Jackson, and just be like, the average guy would be like, I'm nothing like him. I am nothing like him. These are billionaires. These guys have something I wish I had, right? And then there's the average woman who's like, it's like 5'3", 180 pounds, something like that. And they're gonna look at Beyonce, and they're gonna look at Rihanna and be like, that's me. I'm as attractive as them. They're a 10, I'm a 10. Delusion, just complete delusion. Men aren't that delusional. If you're having an argument or a discussion, whatever, with your man, and he's making some pretty valid points, just take the L. Just take the L, right? Stop trying to win. Stop trying to outshout him. It's not doing you any justice. You're not gonna learn from it. Just take the L. Listen. Tell him, how could I be better next time? How can I improve? What do I need to do to going forward to make things easier for you, to make things more comfortable for you. And he's gonna say some things, and you're just gonna go like, "What? Why? What?" You're still gonna be confused, but just listen because he's telling you what he wants. Right? Men are more simpler than you think. All right, and also you need to understand you need to give up things just as much as he has to give up things. If he has to give up pussy, you better freaking listen to him because he's making a sacrifice.